Yo, YouTube! Welcome back to the Kaput Gaming channel. We have another good one for you today. We are going to be talking Season 2 loadouts in this episode. I'm going to break down my 5 favorite loadouts, why I'm using them, why they're a little bit different than what you might see out there. And for anyone who doesn't know, this channel is for the normal gamer, right? So if you're the guy who's like a 2.0 trying to go pro, probably not the video for you. If you're under a 1.5 KD, which is 90% of the people who play this game, give this video a view. You might find a couple things out, a couple little tweaks here and there that I've found as somebody who plays the game a lot that maybe isn't the best on the time to kill chart, but makes a weapon a little easier to use. Very user friendly, if you will. So we'll talk about the loadouts. We'll talk about the attachments. We'll talk about kind of the couple things I'm tweaking versus maybe the meta build. And then we'll also talk about the TTKs on these because that stuff is important. So with that being said, let's dive right into the weapons. So we'll go through these pretty quick here, and then we'll talk to the charts pretty quickly. Try and keep this around the 10-15 minute mark for you guys. First off, we have the Brin and the Well Gun. So we'll just dive into this real quick. This is the new Brin build. Some things have changed since Season 1. I do think this is the meta LMG or AR. Either one, I think this is the way to go. Kills super quick. The barrel, the stock, the magazine have changed. I think it's gotten better. If you haven't given the Brin a go, check this build out. After that, we have the Well Gun. Pretty standard build here. I like the Mark 6 with the 64 round clip. Gives you the ADS from this and extra rounds from the magazine. I think this is a little better. You'll see a lot of people going with the 40 round for the recoil control and the fire rate. Don't get me wrong, that's great. You lose some things as well, damage, bullet velocity, range, and at the end of the day, for me, it's kind of a push on the damage front. It's more about the 64 round, 24 round bullets, a 50% plus increase in magazine capacity. You're gonna win some fights you didn't otherwise win. I'm a big fan of that build. Moving on, this is my throwback sniper build. If we're big Vanguard people, if you're into battle royale, these two guns are ridiculous. Give them a go. I'm not going to talk about them much here. The sniper build, not much has changed from the car. I'm not into this short stock just on principle, so I'll either go wire or that VDD. Still loving this gun. Killer, you got to hit headshots, so be aware of that. And this is an automaton build I'm playing around with. You know, play with this. You can put a silencer on it. You can do a couple different things. I really like this gun. I think kind of like as an all-around pocket gun, it's pretty badass. Cooper, as we'll talk about in a second, also a really good option there. This, I think, you know, is only either this right here or the Brin Well Gun. If you were like, you got to put your next paycheck on the line, that's what I'm going to run. This is disgusting. I love this Cooper build. I think a lot of people know about this. I'm not going to talk about it. Here's the build if you want to screenshot it. Ridiculous. Great damage, no recoil, super user friendly gun here. And then the PPS Edge, man, this is not one that's coming up on a lot of people's, you know, best TTK charts, that kind of thing. It still rips, man. No one's talking about it. Season 2. This is the hip fire build. Absolutely shreds off the hip. And you can see I'm putting this optic on here. A lot of people run the hip fire build with a scope. It makes it worthless if you go down sight. You can go down sight and hit people out to 20 with this thing effectively. So I got to tell you, in terms of pocket SMGs, everyone's talking about the Owen and the Well Gun right now. I think the PPSH is my favorite, and a big difference. This is a silenced gun. If you go look at this and the Owen gun, it's the same situation with the build. You're running recoil booster. We were talking about this last night. It matters, man. Staying off the map matters. So something to think about. And then for my people who really want to mix it up and just want to be different, we have kind of the versatile PPSH build here in the pocket. We'll start with that. This is cool. If you haven't tried it, you're someone who is like, man, you know, these short range SMGs, I end up getting kind of caught in no man's land. I'm not close enough to use it. I don't really like the hip fire thing. Give this thing a whirl. Give this thing a whirl. You can even throw a silencer on here if you're into that. It's a good kind of all around, put a little more length out on it, but still kill up close type of SMG build. Love this PPSH. And then this MG42, again, it's another one people aren't talking about. And you can see this build is a 250 round magazine. Again, no one talks about this, but how many rounds you have in your clip, it's a big deal as it pertains to an individual fight, right? You're reloading your weapon less. You have less opportunity to kind of get stuck in a weird state. You know, it's the same thing with putting plates on. You get caught in a reload, you're pretty much toast. obviously you're not going to really have to do much reloading with this thing. So no recoil, hits like a truck. I'm a big fan of this. If you're an LMG guy, give this a whirl, give it a try. So those are the 5 right there. Here we just have, I'm running a lot of restock, a little ghost here. We have a guy in our group that runs high alert. Highly recommend that if you're not doing it, especially for Vanguard where there's less UAVs up. They are back down to 6,000 versus 9,000, but still, we think kind of restock and high alert's the way to go. We've been mixing it up a little bit here and there. I think I'm leaning more out of ghost and Vanguard, but that's just me. So those are the builds. Go ahead and give them a whirl. Before we jump into some gameplay footage here, we're actually talking about the time to kill chart, so we'll dive into that now. All right, so to speak to the chart here a little bit, first up we have the AR and LMGs here. This, you know, honestly caught me by surprise after playing the game. You can see that pink line there's a Cooper Carbine, far and away the worst TTK. Now again, this top of the chart is 1.2 seconds, the bottom of the chart is 0.6 seconds, so we're talking about half a second, basically distinguishing the top from the bottom. So minuscule, but look at, you know, this light blue line here is at the very bottom. That's the Bren. About a half a second difference between that and the Cooper Carbine at 70 yards. So pretty significant. And even, you know, down at 10 meters or yards, yeah, meters, sorry. You know, you're looking at basically 0.6 versus 0.8. So pretty major. I mean, it's a 25% difference in the time to kill. So, you know, not to be discredited. Again, my major takeaway here is basically whoever's hitting the better shots is going to win, right? If someone's getting headshots on body shots, that weapon's going to be better. The big takeaway here is they're all pretty close. I also threw in the bar. I've heard some talk about that if you put a recoil booster on it. So the rest of these, you can see I have them with a silencer. I kind of tweaked the builds I showed you just a little bit to make them all comparable, right? Like we're not going to compare a silenced gun to an unsilenced gun, except to give you some context here. There's a bar build. You can pull the silencer off, put on a recoil booster, do a couple other things to help get your recoil under control. And you can see of the ARs, it's right up there with the MG and the bars, or excuse me, the Bren. So the bar AR, man, these words are getting fun, is a definite killer right now. Something to try. I'm not majorly into it. I think it's kind of a hard thing to wield. It's not very forgiving. You can't miss a lot of shots. That's why I wouldn't recommend it again to that guy who's under a 1.5 KDR. But maybe you're into that kind of gun. Maybe it just feels a little bit better for you than it does for me. So something to consider. The other big call out I'll make is look how close the MG42 is to the Bren. And the question I have is, man, a 250 round clip, that's kind of a big strategic advantage, right? So something to think about there, something to think about. To me, at the end of the day, the big takeaway on this is you should be trying all these and figuring out what works for you. So with that being said, that's ARs and LMGs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SMG kind of pocket gun group. All right, and then looking at the SMG chart here. So again, a couple things jump out. You can see the bottom two lines there. That green line is the well gun, goes way out to 15. Clearly the best in class close range weapon right now, no doubt about it. You can even think about the guns we just looked at. These are all better inside of 15 yards. PPSH and well gun clearly top of the group there. Followed by the Cold War MP5. Wanted to throw that one in here for a little bit of context. Then the Owen gun and the MP40. So MP40 got a nerf. You can see it totally falls apart now after 20, which is what people complained about. Everything else kind of the same here. The story with the well gun being best up to 15, then pretty much falls out to worst of class. So, you know, personally, I think if you were going to force me to pick one, I'd probably use this PPSH hipfire build. Pretty solid. So I've been into that. So that's all we got for you today. We're going to jump into some footage of all these guns being used, just kind of a little highlight of these guns in action so you can see how they look in gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy. Really appreciate you tuning in. One last thing, if you are still here, please remember, hit a like, give us a subscribe. Really goes a long way for the channel. Thanks. Good luck out there in Caldera. Oh my gosh. By the way, oh, behind you, Charles. Behind you.
Oh.
He's a teammate. I can't help.
One more. Just use me as bait. almost crashed.
You said
Alright.
he was.
They're deep.
Ooh, shut up.
Oh, one's pushing. Push us right here.
What?
Damn, was I might have been blocking the shots.
Bro, flash grenades right now are just ridiculous.
Get back in
Oh, I downed another one.
Hey.
Detonation imminent. Stay clear.
Oh, what?
Got him.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Target down.
Alright, I'll look ahead.
Oh, I see a team way in the distance.
Enemy sighted.
And I downed him. I am disgusting.
Oh my god, did you really?
Hey, someone's right here. Coming in. Two of them.
Let's work our way up, Connor. Come on. Bounty.
Okay, so-
Perfect. It's destiny. They want us to shed blood. What can we do? Let's do it. It looks like. Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
Oh, dude.
Broke shield, he's down. Goodbye. Are they? There you go. Coming in.
He said there's two of
Oh,
them.
dude. Oh my god, dude. He's one bullet, bro. Like beyond one bullet.
In this bathroom.
Right here.
Yep. I got us. Down one.
There's him. I see his teammate behind him. They're gone. Goodbye.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Oh.
What just happened? How did I make it?
He
I have
fell
no idea.
off. He fell off the map. I had a
The
selfie.
gas mask. What?
Había otro arriba, güey.
No.
Damn.
Right up here.
I saw.
Nice. The aggressiveness of the push right now is. I love it.
I think he's up there.
Okay, nice.
Probably camping that roof, waiting for you to climb. Are you climbing?
Oh, he's no shield, Charles. He's no shield. He's no shield. He's no
I'm coming.
shield. Bitch, camper, fuck you.
Are you good down there? Where are you?
I'm coming right back up. Who camp, bro? Who camp? Where's your campfire, dude? Where's the hot dogs and the s'mores?
Down two on top with the precision.
Roger. I'm hitting one as well.
Enemy UAV active. Send it. You're in the top 10. Nice job. Gas is moving.
Another one landed on us.
Down another one up there. His buddy's flying.
I'm watching behind us. I'm watching behind us.
Are you kidding me?
Another guy behind you, Ben.
Oh shit! Guy on me!
I got him.
Oh my
I
god!
got him.
No way! Oh my god! Fuck! Pick up my precision and precision the building in the middle of the
Down
section.
another one. I need to get the fuck out of this gas.
Into the new safe zone.
They're shooting at me wrong.
Right here.
Oh,
I'm
see?
precisioning.
Gas is moving. Go.
On the precision.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Be aware.
I got coughing behind me. Motherfuck.
Let's go.
Let's go.